It was a weird summer this year. G'day my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kathy and today I'm going to tell you what I got up to in summer. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I know you're going into spring, but we're actually now in autumn. We just had our summer. So I thought I would tell you how it went. As usual, I start with the weather. It was all over the place this year. It really was actually. It wasn't very warm for quite a long time, and it seemed like we were always wearing jumpers or cardigans because it was cool or even chilly. And February got so cold, I actually turned the heater on. I don't remember ever turning the heater on in February, which is the last month of summer here. And then it got hot because that's Melbourne for you. We had a couple of mini heat waves and it just seemed that you never knew what kind of weather you were going to get. Yeah. As for what I got up to, not all that much to be honest. It was not a good summer. In fact, it's one of the worst summers I've had in a very long time. And real talk now, that is because of my puppy, Cleopatra, Cleo for short. If you guys don't know, I got myself a German Shepherd puppy in October. She was 8 weeks old then. She's currently around 7.5 months old. And she has been a nightmare. I'm not going to deny it. And let me be clear, this is not my first rodeo. I've had puppies before. I've had German Shepherd puppies before. I thought I knew what I had signed up for, but she has been extremely challenging. And she's made my life, I'll be honest, hell. Yeah, I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but it's the truth actually. Like I said, real talk here. When I got it from a registered breeder, they produce showline dogs, but shepherds are generally divided into two, show lines and working lines. The show lines are obviously for showing. The working lines are more working dogs. They're usually bigger, they have higher prey drive, they have higher energy levels. And her parents are showline dogs, but she's a throwback. She definitely has quite a bit of working line in her because her energy levels are up here, as well as her prey drive. And she is never satisfied. Doesn't matter what you do with this dog, you'll never tire her out. We go for walks every single day. Every day. She gets walked. And she also goes on these big dog adventures so that she can socialize with other dogs at least 2 to 3 times a week. She is played with every single day. I train her every single day. It's not like this dog doesn't get attention. It's just never enough for her. She's an extremely demanding puppy and an extremely destructive one as well. She destroys everything. Doesn't matter how many chew toys you get her. Doesn't matter if I give her Kongs or I give her chew treats. It doesn't matter if I spend a lot of time playing with her or not. She will get it into her head to go and steal something because she is a counter stealer and will destroy it. She has destroyed 7 books so far. Yeah, 7. Which does not make me happy, and they are all hardcovers. She destroyed my favorite pair of glasses. When I was sleeping, she took them out of a basket, which I thought was safe, and she destroyed them. Let alone my jumpers and cardigans. Yeah, she takes them out of baskets and then rips them. And these are jumpers that I've knitted that have taken me months and months. She destroys them in a few minutes. She has broken statues. She has broken pots. She has destroyed plants. My garden, I can't even bear to go into my garden anymore because I hate the way it looks because it's so messy because of her. She's dug holes everywhere. She's chewed the, the sprinkler system twice now, the main cable that attaches to the tap. Whilst I have seen a lot of improvement in her, I'm still at the stage of pulling my hair out. Yeah, I didn't even know puppy blues was a thing, but she has taught me what that is, because I have definitely felt that, and I have not enjoyed the last few months that I've had her at all. It is always one thing or another. I get no peace in the evenings unless I close her out in the laundry or the backyard. That's not what I got a puppy for. I wanted to have her indoors with me, but she can't be trusted. I honestly think about rehoming her every single day. Every single day. And I'm not going to, because she's my puppy and I love her, though sometimes I don't like her very much. So she has not made my summer a good one. In fact, it has just been stress-filled, and I'm constantly stressed about what to do with this dog, because bad enough that she chews and destroys so many things in my house, she also won't leave my poor kitty cat alone. Yeah, she's now reached the point where she's quite big, because she is a big girl, and she basically puts all her weight on the poor cat, squishes her, and then nibbles at her. She is not looking to kill her, she's looking to play. Maya doesn't want to play with her anymore because she will not leave her alone. I've had to make little holes in my door so that my kitty cat can run into my bedroom and hide from her. If the two of them are in the living room together, then I know something's going to break, because Cleo goes from 0 to 10. And just so you're aware, it's not like I haven't consulted trainers. The first one, though, wasn't very helpful, but the second one was excellent. And we've been working with tools that he's given me, and I'm seeing some improvement. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to survive the next few months while she goes through this crazy teenager stage, where most of the time she forgets everything that I've taught her. She's a very smart dog, so she picks things up very quickly, but she's willful. She just doesn't want to do half of them. And maybe part of that is that it's taken me several months before I've been able to walk her with the scooter, because she was so little and so all over the place. It's only really been about 2 months that I've been walking her regularly by myself with the scooter, and that is definitely helping our relationship. This is Editing Kathy. I noticed as I was editing this section about Cleo that I didn't mention all the positives about her, and I thought I should correct that. She is a very sweet dog, very affectionate, has no aggression. She just loves people and will lie on her back and let you rub her belly. She is a very sweet girl and very funny at times. Typical German Shepherd, very goofy, so she makes me laugh all the time. I just wanted to clarify that it's not all bad. No, it really isn't. There are a lot of wonderful things about her. I love how smart she is and how quickly she picks up commands. Plus, I absolutely love walking her. It has been something we've been working towards since I got her as a puppy, and now being able to take her out and bond with her more and show her all these new places. I just love that, and she loves that. But of course, we are currently going through the most difficult stage, and I just want her to calm down. But it doesn't mean I don't adore this dog, because I do. You know, there is a saying, you don't get the dog you want, you get the dog you need. And I think I did. As a result of having to do so much more physically because of her, having to get up 10 times more in an evening to stop her doing things, having to move furniture that she just pulls and drags all around the house and then blocks my access. I'm actually now stronger than I've ever been. How crazy is that? I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I had quite a bad fall in August last year. I even ended up in hospital for a few days. And it took me a while to get over that and recover my strength. And I saw a physio not long after, who I saw again just recently, and he was amazed at my progress. And I told him it wasn't the exercises he gave me, it was running around after Cleo, having to do so much more physical stuff. If I was able-bodied, not in a wheelchair, a lot of the issues I'm having with her wouldn't be a problem. But because I am in a wheelchair, everything she does is exacerbated, is much, much harder for me than other people. And I should say, this isn't all Cleo's fault. I was used to Remy, a very calm, very relaxed dog, even when she was a puppy, whereas this one is like, yeah, it's like she's on crack all the time. So I'm not used to that, nor was my previous shepherd or other shepherds I've been around like her. So it's taken a bit of adjusting for me to get used to her, for her to get used to me. But it's not that I don't love her, because I really do. It's just that she is very challenging and exhausting, and I haven't had the energy to do much else because she takes up all my time. But the joy I expected in having a puppy has been overshadowed by all the stress that she is causing me, and still to this day. Having a puppy is bloody hard work, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It depends on the puppy. There are some obviously that are more easygoing than others, but some puppies are nightmares. And Cleo falls within the category of nightmares. I call her my demon from hell, and I am not exaggerating because that's how I feel about her sometimes. And let me stress that I can see light at the end of the tunnel. I know this is the most challenging time with puppies when they're teenagers, between 6 and 12 months. I don't know if I'll survive it. I guess you will find out. But she is improving. She's really trying to, and that gives me great hope that she will turn out to be a fantastic dog. Yeah, well, I think that's enough real talk about puppies. Let's move on. So what have I been watching? Not any movies. I have finished Psych. I think I have one movie to watch, and that's, I think, the very last one. I really enjoyed it, though sometimes the main character, Sean, annoys me so much, whereas I absolutely love Julia Hill, who plays Gus. He's hilarious. But that was really enjoyable. And then I decided for some reason to watch Luther with Idris Elba. I'd watch anything with Idris Elba. I think he is amazingly good actor, and he is also very easy on the eyes, isn't he? I like some of the seasons better than others. Some storylines seem silly and were not really finished, but I do like how a lot of British drama can be very hard-hitting sometimes. You never know what's going to happen. They can be unpredictable, and I like that about it. I really loved the first season. That one really stood out for me. I've also been trying to finish a few shows that I've had for a long time, like Scandal. I do like Scandal. I have one episode to watch at the time of recording this video, and I most likely will watch that tonight and then finish it. That one is about politics, if people don't know, about movers and shakers in Washington. And I actually really enjoyed this in parts, though sometimes I hated some of the characters intensely, especially some of the things that they did on the show. But it's very well acted, I think, overall, and I like the writing for the most part, though sometimes the writing can fall a little flat, even feel a little cliched. Nevertheless, this is a show that I've always enjoyed, and I thought it's time I finish it. I have no idea what I'm going to watch after that. I have been watching a bit of YouTube, a few more book YouTubers that I've come across that I've enjoyed, though the ads drive me crazy. Yeah. As for what I read over summer, I've already done an update on my reading for February, which is the last month of summer here, in the Loving What You Own challenge. So I'm not going to speak about those books. I'll just tell you what I read in December and January. In December, I read 6 books. 2 were by R.A. Salvatore. I decided to read the Dark Elf trilogy regarding Drizzt because I love this character, and it has been such a long time since I read this series that I couldn't remember it. Now, I think I've already spoken about this series in some of my favourite books of 2023, but briefly, this is about a dark elf who grows up in underground caverns in a society that is basically all about, killing whoever you have to for power. But Drizzt is very different to his family in that he has a great sense of honour. And watching him trying to survive in this awful society, I really enjoyed seeing him coming to terms with who he is, what he's prepared to accept and what he isn't. It is a great introduction to this character, even though this trilogy was written after the first trilogy in which Drizzt appeared, which is the Icewind Dale trilogy. But in that trilogy, he's only one of several main characters. This one was all about him. I really enjoyed the first two books in this series, but I believe I read the third in January, and I loved the series. I love this character. He is definitely a very memorable character, and if you haven't read any books about Drizzt, I highly recommend them. I also read Stephen King's latest book, Holly, about Holly Gibney, one of my favourite characters from his books in recent years. I'm not going to go into detail about that because I've already done a review on it. Then I read 3 Louise Penny books in her Inspector Gamache series: Nature of the Beast, Great Reckoning, and Glass Houses. I'll be honest, I did not enjoy all of them equally. Nature of the Beast is about something that is found in this little town of Three Pines, which to me sounded ludicrous. The whole idea sounded ludicrous. It does also involve the death of a child, which is always difficult, but honestly, there was too much emphasis on this thing that was found, and I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to spoil it. But this was not one of my favourite books, no. The next book, Great Reckoning, I actually did like. This one was about cadets of the Sûreté, the Quebec Police Force, I think it is. That one I did enjoy. And the last one, Glass Houses, again, I didn't like this one at all because it wasn't so much about, say, a murder mystery, rather about drugs, about cartels. Not interested. I read Louise Penny because I'm interested in the murder mysteries, not in a kind of major criminal investigation regarding drugs. That did not appeal to me at all. I can understand why she did it, probably to change up some of the books because otherwise it can get boring if it's just murder mysteries. But in my opinion, that's what she's really good at. I just found all the cartel business dull, and I just wanted to finish that book quickly to get on to the next one. Yeah. And then I tried Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I was convinced to buy this by a shop assistant. I've got it in hardcover. I read 10 pages and I knew immediately it was not for me. Yeah, I did not like the writing. Even in 10 pages, I couldn't stand the main female character who was so cocky and arrogant, who was telling us all these things she could do, whereas I wanted to see that. I don't want to just hear it. As soon as a love triangle was introduced, I was done. I was like, yeah, no way. I want to read this. It is definitely not my cup of tea. It's not often I read such a small amount of a book and decide it's not for me, but this one, it was fairly obvious it was not going to appeal to me. It came across as more romantasy and YA romantasy. Yeah, so that one is going into the unhaul pile, if I ever get around to unhauling books. And in January, I read 5 books. I read Sojourn, which is the 3rd book in the Dark Elf trilogy by R.A. Salvatore. I also read the first book in the Icewind Dale trilogy by Salvatore. The first book is The Crystal Shard. I liked that book because I like the dwarf in it. I'm not so much a fan of Wolfgar, who is, I guess, almost one of the main characters. Yeah, he just doesn't appeal to me as much. But this trilogy, I have read it several times. The book kind of finished this story, and I believe the next two are like completely separate adventures. So I thought I can take a break from these and read the rest another time, which I will. I only got halfway through The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson because I've been meaning to read that a long time. That is one that I think I was reading towards the end of the month, so I will finish it probably in April. I also read a book by Nao Marsh, Overture. I don't remember much about it. Her books tend to blur a bit for me. I believe I liked it and I want to continue reading more of her books, but that's all I can recall of it. I also read another Louise Penny book, Kingdom of the Blind. I like that one a lot better than a couple of the others before that. For my classic, I reread The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Orczy. I've read this several times. I've also seen the films. There are 2, I think, on it. And I love this story. I always have. It is about a group of young Englishmen who are trying to save people from the guillotine in France during the Revolution. Basically, they're trying to save nobles. What was interesting reading it today as compared to other times is that I really noticed the author's, I guess, leanings towards the nobility as being so good and brave as compared to the peasants who are just considered awful. I think that is partly her background, but even so, the French Revolution came about because most of the peasants were starving and their lives were hell. The nobles did not take care of the peasants. They just lived in the lap of luxury while people starved. So they are certainly not heroic figures. They shouldn't be. However, let me just add that, of course, I would never, ever support killing people just because of who they are, what their background is. Nevertheless, really what this book is about is who is the Scarlet Pimpernel, this infamous character who's able to smuggle nobles out of France. It's also romantic, I should add. There is a romance in this book, and that's all I want to say about it. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. She also has several other sequels to this series, which I think I've read but many, many years ago. And the last book I tried, because I DNF'd this as well, is A Court, I think, of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Yeah. Wow, I really didn't like this one either. I think I read a bit more than 10 pages and I just found it completely unbelievable. I did not like the writing. I thought it was very simplistic and it didn't appeal to me. The character didn't appeal to me. She seemed like this martyr that just annoyed me. And as soon as we met her siblings, I thought, this is so exaggerated and so unrealistic. I can't bear it. So I gave up. Yeah. And I have decided that Sarah J. Maas is obviously not for me. Yeah. I doubt very much that I'll ever try her in the future, but you never know. Never say never, right? Yeah. So that's all I read. As for my plants, my poor plants have definitely been neglected this summer because so much of our time with my carers, for example, are taken up with Cleo because she is always making messes or she is requiring attention all the time. It's been very hard to keep up with all the plants. I also did get pests on several spider mites, always spider mites, on some of my prayer plants. Some have died, I am now down to 73 plants because I've lost a few, and I'm quite happy with that number. It's sad because I have lost some I've liked, but overall I've reached the point with my plants. If you're going to be a diva, I don't want you in my home. Yeah, I really don't. If you die, and I've had you several times, then I'm done with that plant. But they are looking quite good. Some of them especially are looking magnificent. One is my rattlesnake, Calathea, or Japersia. I can never remember which one it is. I think it's Lancifolia. I'll show you what it looks like. It is just exploding. It really is. She looks magnificent and I love her. Yeah. I've had her before and I struggled with her, but this one I've grown from a very small plant into this, and I think she's just going to get bigger and bigger as we go. Yeah. The other one that I'm going to show you, I'm only going to show you two today, is my, what I call black velvet, the Syngonium, damn it, what is it? I can't remember now. She is just killing it. But this one is a diva. Yeah, if you miss a watering, she will yellow leaves straight away. You cannot miss her watering at all, and she does not like to dry out. No, you need to water her when she's like at 3 or 2 on a moisture meter, because yeah, she will just have a fit and yeah, kill off her leaves. But she has been growing so well for me that I just had to show you. In fact, we put her in a bigger pot recently because she outgrew the last one. But she looks amazing and I love her. As for my garden, my front looks fantastic because Cleo can't get to that. My back, not so much. Yeah, my backyard looks messy all the time. I know I've lost a few plants because of her. I know that she has reduced some plants to rubble. She digs everywhere. Yeah, she is hard to control out there. The way I see her, better out there than inside, because she's done enough damage inside as well. Anyway, so that is what I got up to in summer. Now, of course, I'd like to hear what you guys got up to. If it was summer for you or if it was winter. You know, I always want to hear, and you can put it down in the comments or you can contact me on Instagram. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then you can do the usual. You can like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.